Hello and welcome to Below the Title. I'm Robert.
And I'm Taylor. And today we're talking ZACK SNYDER'S Justice League.
So ZACK SNYDER'S Justice League.
ZACK Snyder. Not ZACK SNYDER'S Justice League that we saw 4 years ago, which actually has his name on it.
So in response to a fan pressure...
This is what the internet has given us.
To release...
The ability to
and
pressure
possibly
studios.
The fact that they really weren't doing much else last year.
It does sort of scream like we need some content for HBO Max. What have we got?
We've got all these tens of millions of dollars that we're not using. This might work. The nerds will like this.
Well, will they though? We tend to see the fanboys, no matter what, are miserable, hard to please.
Yeah.
Having now seen Zack's original vision, original 4-hour vision, which required 2 breaks and several large pizzas to get through.
They said the age of heroes would never come again.
It will. It has to.
So this has very much the same story beats of 2017's Justice League.
Yep.
We have Ben Affleck as Batman, although this has the original Batfleck as it was seen before he became the slightly pudgy, bald Batfleck that we got in the studio version. We've got Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, who's always awesome as Wonder Woman.
Still banging on about Steve.
She always, I lost someone. For fuck's sake, woman. He's been dead for 70 years. Get over it. We've got Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I'm so glad that they took one look at actual sad Aquaman and went, no.
His casting, it makes so much more sense.
Although I would have loved to have seen to pull off his solo film with sad Aquaman.
Amber Heard.
As Mira,
With
popping
an
up.
English accent for some reason.
She has gone a bit posh.
But she didn't have that accent in Aquaman.
No.
I mean, it's probably a good reason when you
There's
see
a good
this.
reason.
But
We got Henry Cavill as Superman and Henry Cavill's actual upper lip. He's a great Supes.
he's an awesome Superman. He's
I
got
think
the
he's an awesome
perfect look
Supes.
for it.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a great Superman. Amy Adams.
You got Amy Adams, Lois Lane. And it was good to see in this one, her character's given a bit more respect.
Yeah.
She's not thrown into a quick scene talking about how thirsty she is before she's sort of set aside by the plot.
Yeah.
She's actually grieving. And of course, you've got Ezra Miller as the Flash. And he's good as the Flash.
Yeah.
He does the job.
So whenever he starts to move fast, he creates a lot of electricity in the air.
Yes.
And he seems to be able to create this charge that they can jumpstart the mother box and all this stuff. But then it also happens when he's running around saving people. But they don't seem to get electrocuted. Wouldn't everyone get electrocuted?
Probably. He wouldn't be much of a hero if every time he ran down the street, he just popping pacemakers and killing car batteries every time he runs down the street. Ray Fisher as Cyborg.
Who's actually in this one more.
He's actually got a point in this one. And I can understand why he was miffed with what happened to this film, because he's the center of it. And he does a great job with it.
Yeah. And Joe Morton as his father is in it more crucial to the story as well.
I always just hear, Mr. Dyson. Mr. Dyson.
A couple of little cameos to sort of link things.
Yes, this
right
one's
at
got
the end.
Leto's Joker popping up in the last scene.
And a little bit with Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg.
I think they realised that he was the Jar Jar of Batman v Superman.
I didn't really like him in it.
This has the same story beat, so you've still got to deal with the fact that it's about Steppenwolf popping up and going after these mother boxes, which are the DC's version of the Infinity Stones.
Mother Box is such a dumb name. It just makes me think of Mother Boy from Arrested Development. And he keeps on going around with the mother boxes and mother...
Although this version of Steppenwolf is much better than the one.
He's completely redesigned.
He's totally redesigned and actually looks badass.
He's big and mean. And he's actually... It's not just a helmet, is it? He's kind of actually got...
He's actually got horns.
He is a more menacing...
He's a menace
bad guy.
as opposed to the last one that just sort of just popped up and went, Mother!
Yeah, he's...
And then stomped around like a God of War bad guy and just kept going for those boxes.
So these mother boxes are spread around. So they spread it around so that...
We've got to break them up.
Yeah, break them up so that they don't form the unity. Is that what they were trying to do?
Yes.
Something like that. And
Join them together
do
and
whatever they normally do with these sort of things.
shit gets real.
So the Amazonian women have won.
Yes.
And Aquaman is another one. Well, not Aquaman, but the
Atlanteans.
Atlanteans after they've evolved to live underwater somehow. And then The other one's in a cupboard or something?
Well, it starts off in a cupboard, and then in flashback you see that the men took it and dug it in a hole about that deep.
They always seem to be buried. Someone else buried it.
Cyborg goes, I've got to hide it. And he goes and buries it in a hole about this deep.
Yeah, as deep as the thing itself with some leaves over
What is it with humans going, I've got to put it underground?
Then the hole's only just as deep as the box.
Fuck it, that'll do.
And he's Cyborg. He could build a massive hole and bury it. Anyway.
Look, I do enjoy these. Well, I used to enjoy these movies, but this for me was definitely heads and shoulders above what the studio mandated version. It's a familiar story where the studio sees a product and goes, it needs a talking dog from the future, and then proceed to fuck it royally as they take committee notes. They had a product. They went, no. This is what we're going to do. They released an inferior product. And then when you see the original vision, if they had just listened to the director and given him what he needed. Well, I mean, unfortunately, Zack stepped away.
Yeah, there were other reasons.
For other reasons, but that doesn't explain why then after he left, why the studio then proceeded to...
Yeah, you would think in honour of it all, and especially the reasons why he stepped away, you'd think, okay, let's just finish it how he wanted to finish it.
But there was none of that. It was, let's fuck it. It's nice to see the real thing as it was intended. It does feel like the next step after where it was heading.
Yeah, because it's a very different film, but at the same time, it's the same film. So it's weird that they just redid so much.
They just literally just put jokes in it.
Because looking back at the other version... It was, really physically bright, just actual bright.
Yeah.
And the tone, the music was brighter. It sort of almost felt like a Joel Schumacher Batman.
They Schumachered it.
With less the nipples, of course. But
you could tell where they had seen these Zack Snyder action beats and literally gone, joke.
Yeah.
Joke.
Yeah, there's some odd little jokey scenes.
And then gone and grabbed the saturation and gone... This is the original vision for Justice League.
Yeah.
Which does build on from Man of Steel and Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
And unlike Man of Steel, which was full of... and then Batman v Superman... This one, they actually slowed down a bit.
Yeah, it did take its time. It explained the story more. It gave an even amount to each character to set them up.
Everyone had their time to shine.
It's much darker in tone. It's more suited at that length to the home.
Definitely.
Home video. Well, that's actually an issue I have with... Yeah, so it's 4:3.
Because the thing about 4:3 is that all of a sudden you have these really weird framings with too much sky and too much ground.
Oh, I just noticed... Did you forget to pay the rent or something? Yeah, it's an unusual framing.
By going it, you rob yourself of that all-important close-up. It kind of took me out of it a little bit. Yeah, I'll be honest, it did take me out of it.
It took a while to get used to it.
I'm just
thinking...
thinking...
got to correct this.
Yeah, I think we need to get back to... Cyborg was a cool character. It was really nice to see how he expanded, even if he is a bit of an Al Bundy because he's reliving his high school football days.
That's his glory days.
Peg! Yeah, it's it. I would
glory
watch.
days is making the touchdowns in the high school football game and then turned into a robot.
You can have Married with Cyborg. That would work.
There's a identity sketch of Batman.
That was so funny. That
which is different from the first film.
It was a throwaway gag. Oh, it wasn't even a gag. It's dead
supposed
serious.
To be a gag?
They got a 4-year-old child to draw a picture of Batman, and this is their eyewitness reports.
And a 6-year-old witness. We gave him some crayons. I don't know if it was supposed to be a joke or not.
Oh, I think it's dead serious. That's why in the theatrical version they replaced it. There was a different. It actually looked a bit more like a parademon as opposed to just a.
I'd never really taken notice of the fact that Batman has a sort of molded cowl that looks like a face, and he's got all the lines and the crow's feet.
Well, it's because we keep seeing Batman in broad daylight in these movies, and you know what doesn't work in broad daylight?
Batman.
And Bruce, also, when you look at it, they're like up here on him. Like he has to paint it
way up here. And, anyway. And I was just thinking, so Bruce is flying around in a massive plane with a car on board. Do you think he offsets his carbon?
Greta wouldn't be happy.
No, flying over her in a sailboat.
Get off the plane and chip you on the tarmac.
I don't remember these films when I watched them.
No, well, there was lots of Who's That?
Oh, this film, every time a major plot point happened, I think I'd zoned out. And even in the Snyder Cut, I was going, what happened? What?
Huh?
What was that? But I don't remember them because it's just all these really cliched sort of just fight scenes and posing, superhero poses and loud noises and flashing. I'm sounding old, but there's no substance. They're the McDonald's meals of films. And I thought it was me just losing my memory a bit in recent years, but then you go and watch a film that's actually makes you think. I mean, even okay, let's keep it in this same world of comic books. Joker, which is not part of the DCEU as such, but it's still the same character and the same sort of thing. But that was an interesting film, had a lot of substance, made you think about things, and I remembered it. It wasn't just big flashy fight scenes of the same thing that we've seen in every.
It also made
films.
$1 billion,
Yeah.
which Justice League didn't.
This film is significantly better than the 2017 version.
Yes.
Many reasons.
Yes.
There's still a lot of things about this that I personally have issue with on these comic book films. And overall, the team ones I'm not as much into. I think there's just too much going on in these films. They try and put too much in. Whereas the ones that are just individually about Batman by himself or Superman, I enjoy those a lot more.
Less bullshit.
Because you're just focusing on a simpler story. You don't have 5 people you got to follow. And yeah. So, yes.
Yes. Pretty much. Old man rant over. No doubt the internet will hate this film.
Yeah.
They'll pick on it and do all sorts of things. But we live in a world now where there's a 4-hour, hundreds of millions of dollars pumped into Justice League epic film.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? There was a time you wouldn't have got that. I got to be honest. If they were continuing these, I would see a Justice League 2. I would happily sit through another one of those.
Yeah.
Next time, make it an hour less, please.
I think objectively, it's definitely better than the first one. I don't know if I'd give it 8.5 out of 10. Maybe like 7.
I'll give it a 7.5.
If this was the only version that came out, I'd probably be going, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty epic. It just would have been nice for it to film my TV screen. Thanks for checking out this episode of Below the Title. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and click that notification button so you can know when the next episode is up and ready to go. Catch you then.
I can see the 80s from here. Wow. That's awesome.